Hey there, and welcome to another Fantasy Fiends podcast episode. And that actually took more effort than it was meant to. Like, I seriously had to struggle. It's been so long. I forgot the intro.
I know. It's been almost a month for you because you missed the last episode of last year, which was, I think, around the 16th. So the last episode you did was the 9th, exactly a month ago.
Dude, seriously, I was actually at work, and so if you don't know anything about me, I build fishing lights for my dad. It's our main business. It's what keeps everybody in my family alive. And it's recently grown into it's valued at $2 million right now.
Nice.
Of course, we don't make that as profit, right? We invest all that back into the business.
Yeah.
And each light, it takes money to build and stuff. So when I say 2 million, don't like look at me like I'm a god, even though I am. Waiting for a thunderbolt. No. So what we do is over Christmas break, we sold over 500 fishing lights, and each of these takes near an hour to build.
Wow.
Yes. So my ass was at that shop, which is an hour and a half away, building them. And I was there wrapping them. So you build these things by hand, and it's hard work. Not hard, but it's intricate. And I get this notification on my phone, Fantasy Fiends went live. I was like, oh shit. And talk about, have you ever felt like you got cold, like your blood just ran down to your feet?
Yep.
Oh man, I get really sensitive to that stuff because I feel like I let people down and I just wanted to tear up, man. I was really upset, and it took my brother to calm me down. He's like, this is the first time you've missed it, Stevie. And I was like, yeah, I guess, because even when I'm on the road, I get it. But anyway, I'm sorry, guys. That's my form of an apology. I apologize. It won't happen again. I missed you guys so much. But and I'm gonna be on Facebook more, and I am still a writer. I'm still writing every day. In fact, I'm editing right now. So
the book one is done.
Book one's been done. But guess what? Jonathan is kicking my ass. Like, seriously, this guy. So there's a reason why Jonathan Yanez is successful. Andy, there's a reason why you're successful. It's because you guys like go through your damn book so many freaking times. And like Jonathan went through my book like a fine comb. He really enjoyed it. That's what I was freaking terrified of. I thought he's going to hate it. It's that imposter syndrome that I struggle with. And he's like, dude, I loved it. It was hilarious. But these are the things you need to work on. So he's not only showing me how to take out VATs. Like, I have a problem with that. Like, he got his sword so that he could. Well, that's not a good example. But I have to take out VATs. I say the word much too much. And so I'm learning like different ways to do speaking tags. And he also is teaching me some business stuff, like how to go for speed readers, how to write for speed readers. That was interesting. And Andy, if you want to talk about that, let's talk.
Yeah, let's do it.
And also how to formulate paragraphs for speed readers. That way they get to your next book faster and you make more money. I was blown away. Like, seriously, none of this stuff I thought about. So it's been a complete pleasure to work with Jonathan. And I had this idea, Andy.
Okay.
If we ever decide to write a book, I'll know how to do it now.
Okay, good.
So like I had this idea where you write the book and I'll take 20% or a lower profit because I'll go in and add like things that I want, put some spice of Stevie, and then we could do the opposite where I write a book and you do the same thing. I don't know. We've got 50 years ahead of us, so we got all these things we could do, but
it sounds awesome.
Yeah, I miss fantasy.
I've been working on the last March, the 6th book of the Silent Champion series for the last week or so, and I've missed it too. Like there is sort of a clean simplicity about fantasy that you don't get when writing sci-fi, and that doesn't make a lot of sense because like the characters that I'm writing in sci-fi versus fantasy, there's so much similarity between them, or at least in the sort of the genuine honesty of these characters. But there's just like I've been writing this fantasy book, and I don't have to think about pollution or technology, or I don't have to think about anything. They're literally marching through cliffs, right? So that's all you need to know. And so like there's something simple about it that I've been enjoying. And so I've got 9 more books in my Cerberus series that I've got to write, but once that's done, I am looking forward to going back to fantasy.
You feel like you are going to go back?
Well, I have to go back. I've got to finish the Hero of Darkness series. There's another 7 or 8 books that need to be written.
That's right.
Yeah. And then after that, there's the story about the giant bounty hunter, which I am so looking forward to writing.
Bounty Hunter? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What's that?
But he's introduced in the Silent Champions book 2, Balagar. Okay. He's this giant of a man. Like one of the Silent Champions is this big guy, like, my height or taller, massive muscles. This guy towers over him. And he's crazy strong, all of that. And so this story follows him 20, 30 years later after the war ends. He goes back home. He takes all of the skills that he picked up as a soldier and becomes a bounty hunter. But he, instead of being, like a bounty hunter that's clever or, sort of like sneaky, like an assassin style, he's like sets traps, makes sure that his targets only have one way to go, and he's standing there in a full suit of heavy armor and shield and axe and basically just kicks ass. Like I've always thought of like a tank kind of character. So that's what this guy's going to be, just a straight up tank.
Those are the characters you like though, right?
Yeah, exactly. But he's going to be smart. He's going to be clever, obviously, but he's going to use sort of the combination of his massive strength and his intellect, of course, to do it. And it's a very complex story. It's set in sort of a French wine country nation. So we get to play around with a lot of that. It's very political, sort of like the wars in Europe in the the 1500s, that sort of vibe. But it's gonna be fun. Then I've got the one of the seawall prison, where this massive wall built along the sea keeps out like the tidal waves and stuff, but it's used as a prison and the prisoners repair it. That's another one that I absolutely have to write. It's called King of Chains.
Is this kind of like your Hearts of Atlantis one?
Hearts of Atlantis is Stephen King. The Atlantis one is called The Shattered Empire. And that's another story because that one sets up, it gives an explanation of all the magic in the world. It gives a view of the Sereni before they disappeared from the world. It's like there's so much to it. So these are these 3 series that are kicking around in my head that I absolutely have to write. But that's at some point down the line, like it's just something that I want to get to. But then, of course, the Cerberus series is Nolan when he's the assassin character, but then there's also Nolan when he is an actual spec ops sniper, where I get to play with his special ops team, sort of like SEAL Team or Rainbow Six or all that. That would be so much fun. And then there's going to be some stuff that happens in the Cerberus series that I'm going to want to explore in another series or more of his books. I don't know, like every new story brings new ideas, so I have no idea where I'm going to go after this.
What I'm hearing is you have no lack of ideas.
Exactly. What I need is someone to do half the writing for me, basically.
You never know. You might have to get somebody to do that.
It's true. But then I'd miss out on all the fun, which is the writing part, bringing these stories to life. Maybe
you could give away like books that you're not as passionate about, but you still think needs to be written. Maybe
it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get into that one day, but when I went to the Vegas thing, it seemed like a lot of work, and I didn't hear. I mean, I heard positive things like money-wise, but just like it seemed like it was taking the passion away from the writing. But I'm sure I can make it work. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just now that you're with Aethon. Wait, was I supposed to say that? Oh, okay, good. Whoa,
that's fine.
I thought I screwed up. Learn how they're doing it, and then we could do it.
Yeah.
You never know. One day.
The way they do it is they each write a different character, like a different point of view character, and they go back and forth. Like the story is structured with the 2 point of view characters, and then they read each other's and sort of like edit and streamline it, and then that's sort of the finished product.
Isn't their styles completely different though?
I think they find a way to mesh their styles. Like after writing as many words as they have, they figured out how to make it work.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, mine and yours is completely different.
Yeah. So different.
They're completely different. Mine, I don't even know how to describe mine. Just go to look at my 1-star reviews. I'm sure they have words for it. I actually showed Lisa's family the 1-star reviews, and it was fun sitting there at the table and reading those 1 stars. Some of them just like have no critique at all. They just tell me I suck. And it's, there's a positive to the 1 stars on Amazon and being an author is because you do start growing a hard skin.
Yeah.
You just do. You grow it hard on. You know what I'm saying?
You don't grow a hard on, Stevie. That's a totally different kind of thing. Rebecca, keep your comments to yourself.
I grow scales on my dong. Makes it just... Anyway, what I'm saying is, remember with the dark Whoa, what is it called? The Dark Assassin.
Yeah.
God dang, I forgot what that was called. I was heartbroken when I got my first 1-star. Like, seriously, I was actually at the shop building fishing lights, and I got my 1-star. And my brother again had to cheer me up. It's like, Stevie, you're gonna be fine. Just not everyone's gonna like your stuff. But so I do have some news. If whenever I finish this, I might write a second series in sci-fi. I have a really, really awesome, interesting idea. It's not very well targeted like Jonathan is. Like, he doesn't cuss at all, and I want to cuss in mine, and I want to make it a little bit more vulgar because that's where my humor is. It's pretty vulgar. So I would like to do that. And then I would like to go back. So I'm actually getting ready to do a box set for the Bizarre Blades, which I need help with, Andy.
Okay.
Which I probably will do in May. And then if it's popular, I might just go ahead and write a second series.
The Wicked Whips.
The Wicked. Remember I was going to do that?
Yes, and we're not going to let you do that, Stevie.
No, I mean, I like the story, but we would have to change the title. Like, it's my book is no longer called I Am Mech. Like Jonathan, it's a business to him. So we had to look at the keywords, and now it's called Metal Fury. So
nice, great.
No one steal that. That's mine.
Great keywords.
Metal Fury, and then what is the freaking book called? I think it's funny. So when he sent it back to me, he actually changed it from By Stevie Collier to By Stevie Collier and Jonathan Yanez. I was like, oh, sorry, man, I didn't know. Oh, it's Gateway to the Galaxy. Oh, a mecha. What is this freaking book called? It's called. No, it is called I Am Mech, but the series is Metal Fury Book 1, a mecha space opera adventure, Gateway to the Galaxy Season 2.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful, but Metal Fury is a great series.
Metal Fury. I really like Shadow Tech Chronicles, but this just is going to sell better. And I mean, it doesn't take away what the book is really about, which is Nazis, Shadow Tech Nazis. It's a long story. Well, it's not really. It's like 70,000 words. But so, what did you get for Christmas?
I got two amazing things. I got the Game of Thrones Catan, which I saw and I loved.
What?
Yeah, so it's far away.
A Catan?
Yeah,
it's a katana.
No, Catan. It's this board game, Settlers of Catan.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I saw that on Facebook.
And they made a Game of Thrones version. And it's actually a lot of fun. It's probably one of the better versions.
Really? I've never played.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And when I come visit you, I'll bring it.
No, seriously, I would. If you could teach me how to play it, I'd love to. Is there only one winner, or can you like team up? Or
it's one winner. Yeah. So each version has the different ways to win. This one's more cooperative because you're defending the wall from the wildlings, right, that are attacking you. So you have to sort of think about how to defend the wall. But then you've also got to gather resources and do all that other kind of stuff. So it ends up being a more cooperative game than the other Catan versions, but there's still, the winner takes all kind of thing. And it's a lot of fun. And the other present that I got from my wife, another perfect one, is an extra large apron. I've been doing a lot more of the cooking and cleaning.
Oh, extra large apron.
Yeah. And so the apron that I've been wearing is sized for normal people. So if I hang it around my neck, it barely goes down to, it barely covers, my belt.
You got Lisa laughing over here.
I know.
I'm picturing you like Shaquille O'Neal holding a water bottle. It's like this.
Exactly. Well, that's what normal aprons look like on me. So I got grease on a ton of my t-shirts because I'm cooking and I have no way, nothing to protect the t-shirt. So 5 of my t-shirts were ruined. So I told my wife, I want an extra large apron. And so she got it. It's perfect.
What's it say on it? Nothing?
Nothing, which is even perfecter.
See, I could have writing on mine. Kiss the cook.
Yeah, there was a couple of them that were goofy, but none of them came in extra large.
Well, I've got a gift. Lisa, will you hand me my gift? Yes, this was my favorite gift that Lisa got for me. No, not the kitty. This is not the gift. I mean, she is a gift. Come on, show the audience your butthole. Okay, this is an original painting that Lisa had made for me.
Oh, wow. Spider-Man.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, that is really cool.
That's actually my favorite shade of blue, like the lighter. But yeah, that's all hand painted. It's watercolor, which is also my favorite. So, and she signed the back of it. Thank you very much.
That is amazing.
I was not expecting that. So that was freaking awesome. I'm not just saying that because she's here. But I got a lot of other cool stuff too. Like I have that other business for Law of Attraction. I got a camera for that, it's just upped my YouTube game. So
nice.
Yeah. I think that's it, right, Lisa? I mean, I got a lot of other stuff. We have the family just showered each other with presents this year. So what is the news for not Metal Fury, your new series?
The Cerberus series?
Yes.
Well, so far there's nothing, super newsworthy yet. The launch date is still set for March. I don't have a final. The audiobook narrator just finished recording it sometime this week, I think, and I should be getting the audio files fairly soon. To hear how he did it, just to see, what he sounds like, what he makes the characters sound like. I'm super excited about that. And I just signed a deal with Podium to turn the Silent Champions into audio.
There you go. Nice. Yeah. Same percentage, or can you not say?
I cannot say.
Okay. That makes sense to me.
Yeah. So right now I'm finishing up the last March. They're going to do books 1 and 2 in in a big publisher's pack. It's going to be like 300 and some thousand words. So, 35, 36 hours of audio. And then book 2 is obviously ridiculously long. Book 3 and 4 are super long. And then they're going to put books 5 and 6 again. So it's going to be 4 audiobooks, but they're all going to be super long.
Whoa, so you're going for those credits.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. That's instant $20, I believe, right?
I'm not sure.
It's something it's like a lump sum for each credit you get. I can't remember what it was, but I believe that's how it works. But that's awesome. We should have, we should have done that for the Bizarre Blades, but now that I think about it, there's 5. That would have only worked if we did 3.
What do you mean, like in the box?
Yeah, so books 1 through 3 in one book, and books. What's interesting is, this is actually what I figured. The ratings for the audiobook are better than the written book, and it's just because the narrator did such a good job, and I just think it's supposed to. I feel like it's better spoken. I don't know. It's like a story.
I've enjoyed audiobooks more than regular books recently. Like right now, I'm super addicted to one audiobook to where it's like I've been spending more time at the gym. And I volunteer to drive my girls home when they come to visit. They live across the city, which is, 20 minutes away or something.
Oh, okay.
But I volunteer to drive them home, and I tell my wife, no, you stay, so that I can listen to the audiobook on the way home in the car.
Oh, wow. What are you listening to right now?
It's the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown. It's sort of this weird sci-fi fantasy mashup. The first book was like Hunger Games, but way darker, which I loved.
Ooh, I love the Hunger Games wasn't dark enough for me. It's based off that Japanese battle royale movie, right?
Maybe.
It's where they put all these kids on an island, but it's super gruesome, apparently, is what I hear. But
it absolutely is. And so I'm on the second book now, and it's a lot more political and all of that, but it's really, really enjoyable. So where I'm super glad there's 5 books, with the 6th coming out sometime soon, because then I have this to sort of binge. It's been a while since I've been really hooked on a story, I guess, and especially a good long series. The Orconomic series by Zachary J. Pike.
He's great.
Loved those, but there was only 2. The Paternus series by Dirk Ashton's another amazing one, but again, it's only 2 books, so it's this one's 5. I finally have a longer series to enjoy.
Orconomics, I was hoping somebody was going to point out that the Bizarre Blades was hey, this is like Orconomics, but not a single person freaking did. That was a huge influence for my writing, because I read Orconomics this is hilarious. I didn't know you could make money off of humor, and guess what? The Bizarre Blades was boring, so I was this is just easier for me to write. I think I'm I like reading my stuff because it makes me laugh, but that's probably fine. It's not funny, but I get a kick out of it. But I don't even know how you would describe. It's funny that you liked Orconomics. I didn't know anyone else had read that book.
Yeah, no, I listened to the audiobook and I was driving down the highway, you know, the speed limit here is 120 kilometers an hour. And I nearly like swerved out of control at the part where they're having the audience with the Orc King. I was just like, what the fuck was that? You know, when there's that reveal in the first book, I laughed so hard at that part.
Nice. I need to my problem is I forgot to post the freaking link on my YouTube my Facebook thing. My problem is I don't know whether I should be reading fantasy or sci-fi now.
Read what makes you happy, man.
That is the answer, you know.
That's the thing that I've been struggling with for the last couple of years, is that it's been hard to really sink my teeth into anything. Like I want to enjoy like the indie fantasy, sort of support my friends, read my friends' books, but then I have a harder time getting into them for whatever reason. And then I try someone else, you know, not an indie, and I can't enjoy the books as much. Or mainly it's just been a lack of time because I haven't been going out hardly. Last year was just a crazy year of a ton of work, so I didn't hardly go out. I didn't work out at all, basically. So I didn't spend a lot of time listening to audiobooks or reading while I'm on the treadmill. But now that I've started going back to the gym, or I've taken a couple of trips late last month, it was so wonderful to dive back into something that just absolutely entranced me. So it's been really, really exciting to be doing that.
How has your snowboarding been?
It's good. I only went once so far on the 31st.
Okay.
And it was really, really fun. The trails where I went were all kind of blues, and I'm still a green level skier, which is like the basic, or a snowboarder. The blues are sort of intermediate. And they were ski trails. So there's a lot of parts where they kind of level out, and if you don't have like top speed, you have to literally sit down, take off your board, and walk 20 or 30 meters to get to the next downhill. But we've got another trip coming up in a couple of weeks, and got to go 3 or 4 more times before the end of the season, and so I'm excited. I fell way less than before.
Does it hurt falling? It's like
it does. Like, if you, most of the time you're falling into fairly soft snow, so it doesn't hurt. Sometimes you fall like on your ass, when you're on your back edge, your heel edge, and it slips out from under you, you fall right on your tailbone. That hurts. But usually by the end of the day, my spine is kind of like in pain from all of the jolting. So that's like, you're pretty sore the next day.
I mean, how fast are you going? I don't know. I can't picture a green slope. I just feel like it's a bunny hill.
Well, it is. There are bunny hills, or bunny hills are all greens. And then, there are greens. Like there's this one up in Sun Peaks. It's this one of the top rated ski resorts in Canada, and it's an hour away from us. And so they have one green that's 7 miles long. You go all the way up to the top of the mountain, and it's 7 miles of, not super steep slope. It's pretty fun.
I really, really want to try that. How far away is this snowboarding place?
Well, there's one half an hour away, and then another one an hour away.
God, you're so close.
I know.
Dang, man. Oh, I mean, not to bring up like negative stuff, but how's Canada with this whole airline thing going on? Jesus.
What airline thing?
The crash that killed like 67 Canadians?
I've not heard about it.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Well, look it up on your own time if you want, or if you want to talk about it now, I'm cool. But Canada's pretty upset about it. So
the one in Iran?
Yeah, the one it was shot over Ukraine or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that the plane was shot down, but I didn't know there was a ton of Canadians on it.
67 of them, and they were like on their way to a connecting airport that would take them to Toronto.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's all over Reddit, and it was like, it's weird because people are commenting that they knew people because there was a lot of graduate students in there. It's really sad, but not to put this this podcast episode onto something negative, but I was just asking if Canada had like a different energy. But
as of yesterday or something, or this morning.
It's you guys still communicate through telegraph or whatever that Morse. What is that's Morse code through Telegram, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool, man. I would really back from plane crashes back to snowboarding.
Yeah.
I haven't been surfing, and like I told Andy, I think I gained like 10 or 15 pounds over the Christmas holidays. Yeah, Rajin says Morse code telegraph. Yeah, I figured. I do a pretty good voiceover of Morse code. But how has everyone's Christmas been? Everyone doing well? Did you guys miss us?
Drop some comments in the comments, guys.
Yeah.
Let us know about your holiday season.
Please, and ask us any questions. This is one of few times Andy and I will be together live for you guys. Like I said, I'm going to try and get on Facebook more often. I've been really bad about that now that things are slowing down with the fishing light business. So yeah, man, that's really been up with me. I've just been working my ass off.
That's good. Well, you know, the theme of the podcast was the year ahead. So you are a fairly productive person overall, right?
Yeah, like I workaholic, some people would call me. So
share with us some of your secrets for being productive to help us have a better year.
So my biggest tip is I am, and I don't like to say I am when it comes to something negative, but I procrastinate a lot. So I'm a procrastinator, but I don't say that often. The reason why I procrastinate is for two reasons: the fear of failure and the fear of success. And I'm going to talk about the fear of failure, obviously, is because you don't feel like you have the skill in order to complete this mission of yours, this goal of yours, this project of yours. And you just have to get over that and realize that nothing is ever going to be perfect. You have to get over that perfection paralysis and just create. That is how wealth is created, is by being creative and giving value to your fellow humans. So get over that failure idea. I know, because I had to do it. There's also this subconscious belief of the fear of success. We're afraid of becoming successful for multiple reasons. Maybe you believe money is evil, money is bad for you, money's going to make your friends not like you. There's a fear of success. You don't know how you're going to change when your project becomes successful. So you have to get over that as well. And once you let go of both of those things, you'll find yourself getting into that creative flow a little bit better. And you'll realize once you sit down, you have to tell yourself, this is my job. This is what I need to do. Everyone else is working. I need to be doing this too. Get over the fear of failure, the fear of success, and I guarantee you will reduce your procrastination. I know a lot about this subject because I had to learn.
You know what makes me procrastinate?
What's that?
Or it's not procrastinating. So today it happened to me. It was 2:30, time for Andy to sit down and get some writing done. Mm-hmm. And Andy did not want to write because really? I knew how demanding the scene ahead was going to be. Mm-hmm. And I knew it was going to demand so much energy from me to write this and so much focus. And that's what really like it's been a long day. I went to the gym this morning at 7:00. I came home, I cooked, I made breakfast for my family. I cleaned the kitchen, sat down and worked, made lunch. And then I got back to work again at 2:30. And I was tired. And so I knew that it was going to take a ton of focus and concentration to get the chapter done. So it's not that I wasn't looking forward to writing the chapter. It was that I knew how tired I was going to be or how much it was going to demand from me. So I had a hard time sort of committing to that energy expenditure. And so that's usually what makes me procrastinate, when I know that it's going to be really demanding.
Yeah. Would you say that it sounds like a brand new thing over my fear of failure, fear of success? I don't want to say you had the fear of failure because you're pretty confident in your ability, but I get that. I don't know how to describe it, though. I know a lot of people who are watching this are writers. And when you have that scene coming up and it's demanding, like you said, it's demanding. You're just like, shit, I don't want to do this.
Well, more than emotionally demanding. Sometimes those scenes are pretty hard to get into, but I actually look forward to those, like when it's a character's death scene or when it's this really important character moment. I look forward to those because it's a chance to explore something about the character that I didn't know. Like in the latest of the Cerberus books, the character has a couple of moments where he's having this chat with his sort of new ally, and talking about their mutual drug addiction. And for me, getting into that scene was almost more interesting than getting into the fighting stuff, because I wanted to learn more about the way the character felt and their journey, which always comes up through the writing. Whereas later on, when he's going through a battle, I knew he's going to have to shoot his way through 30 some men, and I was going to have to spend a ton of creative energy and writing energy figuring out how to shoot all 30 of those people in various different and interesting ways. So for me, that's the more difficult part. I'm not going to say it's tedious, because action scenes are fun, right? You have fun once you get into them, but there is a certain amount of tediousness, because you have to commit to making it interesting. You can't make every battle scene the same, or it gets samey and boring. So you have to, like, it takes a lot more creative energy, I would say, versus the more emotional energy that comes from an emotional scene. And that's a different demand on your brain and on your creativity. So, they both can put a lot of pressure on me, the writer, to get them done and get them done right. And that's usually when I find myself procrastinating, not because I'm afraid of failing. I just know how much work it's going to take for me to get them right.
Yeah, that makes sense. For me, it's, whenever I sit down, and since I don't outline, I have no idea what I'm writing that day. And then some days I just don't have it, and it's not there. And it's like I'm grasping at a cloud, and or better yet, I have that. Plus, I know I have to do like a transfer section. I don't know what else to call it. It's a different type of beat where you go from action to something to action. You have to set up the next scene, basically.
Yeah.
And I hate writing those. And I also don't like doing settings. What's it called?
The hook.
The hook. Yeah. And I don't like doing settings, like, which is weird for me. You would think I would like it, but I actually don't. I like getting into action, as you said, but I can procrastinate at those areas too. But I think the first step is realizing that you're procrastinating, become aware of it, and then you can fix it. We can't fix anything we're not aware of.
Yeah.
So what is one of your tools, techniques for success?
You're going to hate this, Stevie.
I probably will.
But plan.
Wow.
Outline. No, and by outline, I don't mean just in relation to books, but also in life. So, for example, right now I'm struggling to fit more exercise and gym time into my day. So I know that Tuesday morning from, say, 10 to 12, I'm at the gym. And Thursday morning from 7 to 9, I'm at the gym. So I know that I need to take those days. So I've shuffled all of the rest of my work around, and I've figured out my, eating the post and pre-workout meal options so that I've got it all done. Having this plan in place makes it much easier for me to do something which is very difficult. In this case, getting out of my house for 2 full hours or more in order to do exercise, do the thing I need to do. And when it comes to writing, it's super helpful, because I know that all I have to do is get to this part in the scene, and then the chapter's done, and I can get up and walk away and do something else. So having a plan in place for the full year, or as much as possible, given the life's chaos and unpredictability, it's going to help me. Like, I know that I am moving forward on the Cerberus series, and I've got a plan. Okay, from roughly mid-January to mid-February, I'm going to work on Cerberus 4, while trying to fit in edits on books 2 and 3. And then between mid to late February and mid to late March, Cerberus 5, with edits, with time to edit book 4. And so doing all of that, having this plan, I plan to write the 9 remaining books of the Cerberus series, unless it just doesn't sell really well. Or at all is really what I mean. Then it, I've got the rest of my year planned out. 9 books is basically the rest of my year. And so I don't have to worry about what I'm going to, what project comes next, because I just know book 5 comes next, book 6 comes next. And that's sort of where all my energy goes. And so it's like, I think it was Steve Jobs, or anyways, one of these super smart people. They say, reduce the number of choices that you have to make every day. So
that's a good one. Yes, I've heard that one.
By having it planned out. Yeah, exactly. By having it planned out, by knowing that I'm going to be solely focused on the Cerberus series after the last March is done, then it's easier for me to dedicate that creative energy to making these choices for the story and the book and the characters and all of that.
It's funny that you You mentioned the planning. I've been looking for like a planner, but I'm particular about my planner. I want it small, but I also want like the days inside to be big so I can actually write, because I have horrible handwriting and it's like pretty big. And I also want the outside to feel good. Like I'm a demanding person when it comes to my planner.
High
So,
maintenance.
what's up? Yeah, I'm high maintenance when it comes to the planner. Like I was with Lisa, and then again with my brother. I'm like, does this feel good? Does this feel like a year-long planner? You know? And it always ends up with me not getting one.
Yeah.
I gotta feel good about it. Like every journal I have in my house, I have tons of journals.
Yeah.
They're all very special to me. And then I don't want to write in them because like, no, that's for the green blob business. And then I can't find the other one, so I end up writing nothing. So I got to figure something out. There's actually YouTube videos on how to journal, how to plan. So I plan on actually watching those. No joke. It's funny that you bring that up. So another tool for success is well, shit. I'll get into one of my favorite things, and I'm not going to go full on law of attraction, but I will say that believing in yourself, as lame as that sounds, is incredibly important in order to get work done. It's something that I've struggled with being a writer with all these other great writers by my side. Which I'm very happy now to say it's almost been 3 years I've been writing. They're my not employees. You're my, like, if you're working in a business and you have another employee and you're also an employee, they are your coworker. But it's another word besides coworker. Commandant. I don't know. Anyway, they're my comrades in writing, I guess is what I'll say. But once you start believing in yourself, and again, if you get over how lame that sounds and you start believing in your work, you start believing whatever it is that you're doing, there's a certain kind of fire that comes over you, kind of like when you become Super Saiyan, that aura that comes around you, and you get into the flow state a lot faster, which in my opinion, the flow state is your $1 million state. And colleague, thank you, Rajin. Colleague, Lisa, colleague. I'm getting some tonight. I got an eye roll.
You know what it's kind of like what you were talking about before with when I sit down to write, it's not like I doubt myself, it's that I know that it's going to take work to do it right. And that used to be the way I used to be, a lot more self-doubtful, I guess, or self-critical, in the sense that I would read over everything a lot more carefully because I wasn't certain that I was doing it right. Now I may not be doing it right, but I move forward with a lot less of that self-doubt. And I think, I mean, that's a major factor in my productivity because I'm not questioning if I did it right.
Yeah, man. I mean, I knew you didn't doubt your ability. So that's why I said it, because I definitely doubt my ability. The only thing I don't doubt myself on is law of attraction, because that's what I've been studying since I was 8 years old. And so whenever I go on camera to do a video for it, I mean, this stuff just spills out of me. But writing was brand new, and I'm still struggling to get rid of the habits that I got from university, because I don't use conjunctions when I should. Like all of my dialogue are people talking very properly. So I could not do this because they were not there, you know? I couldn't do this because they weren't there. That's how people talk.
Yeah.
I don't write that way. And Jonathan caught on to it, and it was super embarrassing. I was like, oh shit. I thought I got rid of all of these. But like could have is a big one. It's could have.
Yeah.
Could have. Which is interesting. So it's something I struggle with, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, that this confidence is I would say learned, wouldn't you?
Well, it comes through experience. So yeah. I'm definitely not going to claim that I'm the best writer in the world. I say I'm pretty firmly in the middle of the pack. But after telling so many stories for so many years, I've kind of learned that the story will be told the best way that I can, right? The only way that I know how. So as long as I move forward with that mindset of telling the story the best way I can, then I can just focus on doing that without worrying if I'm doing it right or not. It's sort of this mindset that comes. Also, having a lot of better readers read over the stories.
That's smart.
if something was wrong, I feel like they would have told me, because they don't pull their punches when it comes to the other stuff that's wrong.
Yeah.
So after having 28 books better read and seeing the kind of things that the readers never mentioned, I don't think I've gotten more than 10 comments on like a was, including Regine's was versus were, which I definitely paid attention to. Regine, you get points for that. But you know, like things like that, like the passive voice. I use it sometimes. I don't use it sometimes. People don't care about that as much as we, the authors, do in our perfectionism. And so over time, I've sort of let go of that perfectionist mindset, knowing that that takes up so much of my mental and creative energy when I should be spending that all on making the characters, you know, as real and honest as possible, and making the stakes as high as possible, and making sure that everything reads really, really smoothly, that the experience that the reader has is as good as possible, as opposed to everything being technically perfect. Because that's something I learned with Darkblade Assassin. I spent so many words, so many hours trying to find ways not to say what was, you know, to avoid the passive. And it made some of the sentences super, super clunky. Obviously, I wasn't a very good writer back then, because, you know, it was my second book. But all that effort that went into it, you know, it helped me develop skills as a writer. But now sometimes just saying he was this is more effective in the long run than doing that long way around. So letting that perfectionism go has helped me a lot.
And this leads me on to the next thing that I really like to tell myself, is that being different is better than being better, which is what I tell myself at night when I write insanely bizarre and absurd things. So being different is better than being better. And I like to think that this goes with book writing, but the real thing, I mean, I'm an entrepreneur, so that's what I think when I think product. Being different is better than being better, because I'm also a brand. Myself is a brand, not only for my books, but also for my spiritual coaching. I'm the brand, so I like to be different. And on my YouTube videos, I actually got a comment saying you should do more of your funny side for the videos. And once I started doing that, I got 300 more subscribers.
Wow.
And yeah, in a matter of a week. So people really enjoyed the comedy. So I just made a video that starts out, hey, this video is all about, in this video, I show you exactly how to put on nipple clamps. And then I go, oh, no, that's the wrong channel. And then I go, no, this video is how to be brave using the law of attraction. So I take, that's a risk, obviously, because I will scare away people. But that's when I say being different is better than being better. What do you think about that with book writing, though?
There is definitely something about the difference that is better than being better. But I try to focus on like the story elements and the characters, telling the different sides of characters than readers have come to expect. It's why I focus on things like the mental disorders, or, you know, playing with the addiction aspects of this, you know, character, or things like that. I like focusing on those things that are slightly different. I wouldn't say that I try to make my story entirely different, but something unique.
Yeah.
That sucks the reader in, that says, all right, let's see what's going on here. But
yeah, it's probably one of my favorite things that I learned. And also it's the story that we tell ourselves is also very important. You want to change that story that you tell yourself. Like a big one is, if you're overweight, it's probably because, I mean, unless you have a thyroid issue, obviously, but taking all the health, you know, crazy health stuff aside like that, it's probably the story you're telling yourself. So if you grew up overweight, you grew up as this person who was overweight. And so whenever I was training people, and this is in a southern town, and when you tell a southerner that they have to change their mindset, you get kicked in the nuts.
Yep.
So I had to gain these people's trust before I could try and change their mindset, and it never worked. Not one person that it's probably my fault. I probably scared them away. But when you tell someone, you know, hey, you're telling yourself you're this overweight person, you need to take responsibility for that mindset and change it, you get punched in the teeth. But it's something that it doesn't have to be just weight. It could be that you drink. Well, you see yourself as this drinker. And I say, just try to change it. Try to change it and see what happens, you know. And I think that's really cool. And you can do that about anything in your life. You know, do you spend too much money at the mall? Change that mindset. Are you not good with girls? Change that mindset. Are you not good in a relationship? Change that mindset. Are you not good talking to strangers? Change that mindset. Are you not good about trying to stop throwing babies off the cliff? Keep that mindset.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one.
Yeah,
changing that inner self-talk is super important too.
Yes, that is it. That's probably a better way to say it. That inner self-talk, and that takes time.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That takes time. I mean, there are videos that Andy and I have done that you guys have never seen, and it's just me talking to Andy, like, just because you guys see me as this positive person, but there's multiple times where I've had to get on chat with Andy. I'm like, dude, I'm struggling. I'm having a very bad day. I'm having a horrible month. Help me. And together we've gotten through this. So drop kicking babies is the hill of tiny corpses I'm dying on. That sounds like poetry. I feel like Rajin is a very dark person. He's like an airplane engineer. So he like works on airplanes and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's smart. Like, I think he was when I was streaming video games, he would watch me while doing this stuff. I'm like, dude, how are you? I can't even change my tire without, having to fully concentrate on that project. But any closing thoughts, Andy?
Well, so another super good thing, this is one that my wife hates, is routine. The best way to be productive is to have routine. And that plays back to the whole take away as many decisions as possible throughout the day. I know that every day, 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm sitting down at my desk. I know that every day, 2:30 in the afternoon, I'm sitting down at my desk. The 10 to 1 shift is a little bit trickier, but the same routine every day is a massive contributor to my productivity, just because there is no question of how much I'm going to work every week or every day, because I know what my week schedule looks like. I've organized myself as someone who works from home, who has for 7 or 8 years. I've learned how to set that routine. And so often my wife will be like, oh, let's go out, let's go out. Or tomorrow I've got to take her to the doctor, and she wanted to fit in the shopping in the morning. And I'm like, no, I'm taking you to the doctor at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to try to work in the hospital waiting room. And then at 10:30, I'm going to be sitting in Starbucks working. So like having that routine, sticking to that routine is what makes it possible to be productive, no matter, especially over the course of weeks and months of day in and day out. But then even when you're somewhere else, if you're traveling, that at 2:30, wherever you are, you sit down and write, you're still productive.
So your wife has a hard time with, what is it? With routine?
Yeah, with like rigid schedules, things that feel too structured or too rigid and unyielding. She wants to break out of that.
You know what? That's interesting. So that's actually, people don't know this about me, but if I get out of routine, I get highly anxious and sometimes even depressed. I'm a creature of habit, and it freaks people out because they don't see me as this person. They see me as this erratic, ecstatic, eclectic person. And no, I'm a creature of habit. I have to have everything set in stone throughout the day, or I get stressed. That's why when I go on vacation, I can't go on vacation for very long, because I'm like, oh, I got to do this. It's pretty interesting. Actually, I just Andy, I want to do yours too. Maybe for the next podcast we can do it really quickly, but I did my numberology.
Okay.
And I was like, this is a bunch of malarkey. This is so stupid. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Sitting in the metaphysics section at Half Price Books for an hour and a half. People probably thought I was like summoning the devil or something, because it's right by witchcraft and paganism.
Yeah.
Which just makes me realize, what am I doing? Anyway, I did the numberology thing and I was reading it, and it freaked me out. And it was talking about how you're emotion based and you make all your decisions based off emotion. And I can't even go into it, but one thing that it said was, what people don't realize about a 30, I believe I'm a 30, is that yes, you're an extrovert, but you are different because you have to always go back and re-energize yourself. You can't just keep going like that. And it also called me a projector, which I'm a projector with this other system. I forgot what it's called. Jonathan
Meyer.
What is it?
Briggs Meyer.
No, that's an ENFP. I'm an ENFP.
Okay.
That one. There's another one I want you to do too. It's super interesting, but it's a projector, and it's the same thing. You're extroverted, and you really get people to do stuff. Like you're motivating, but you have to retreat and be alone. And it's so fascinating because it's the first thing that actually pegged me as that. Because when I was at Vegas, dude, I was freaking going crazy. Ask Jonathan, man. I was like, I got to get out of here. So next time I think I'm going to get a room in wherever that place is so I can escape.
Nice.
So, but yeah, I'm going to do your numerology next Thursday.
Okay.
They're like short paragraphs. It's not long.
All right. If it took you an hour and a half to do it, are we going to have enough time on the podcast?
Wait, what day, what month were you born? What number?
11.
What day?
That is public information that I'm not going to share.
I'm going to do
just because that, your birthday can be used to get your private information, Stevie.
Okay. Let's do your social security number then.
Yeah, absolutely. That's much safer.
That's much safer. Awesome, man. Well, I think that's it for me. I probably got to get out of here. I got to shower. I got some stuff to do, but man, it's been so good being on the air with you again.
Yeah, it's been fun being back.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much I missed you. I missed your musk.
Yes.
Yeah. Rebecca, I don't know if I'm supposed to. I'm a person who enjoys smoking now. Is that like
that's going back to a previous comment where she said, I realized I couldn't quit smoking because I saw myself as a smoker who wasn't smoking, which means the thing she needed or was an integral part of her life wasn't being satisfied. So it was like there was something missing versus now someone who enjoys it.
Yeah, I was out of the loop there for a minute. Does that mean you can smoke less now is what you're saying? Anyway, I was just interested. I get curious about that. I love self-help. I think everybody knows that about. I love self-help. I love all these quotes, and I have sticky notes all over the place with them. So have them on the mirror, have them on the cabinet. So when you ask me that, I'm like, oh yeah, let's talk about it. Let's do it. So anyways, Andy, anything else you want to talk about before we close?
Nope, that's it. We'll be back next Wednesday night with Troy Osgood talking fantasy.
Wow, it's been a while.
I know. And we're going to try to be interspersing 1 week's fantasy, 1 week science fiction, because we are now the Fantasy Fiends podcast, now with twice the sci-fi.
Yes, I'm working on getting Richard Fox on. So awesome. That's going to be very fun. I think we're all going to enjoy that a lot. I also have another guy who I've totally forgotten his name, but he's also a very, very big sci-fi author who I became friends with at Vegas. Andy, you're going to love him, dude.
And you should get Yanez on too while you're at it.
Oh my God, we got to get the Yanez. I got to tone it down though for him. I got to be like super professional. Like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got to be like really cool or you'll fire me.
I'm pretty sure that respectful, calm demeanor is exactly what appealed to him about you in the first place, Stevie.
He's actually a really cool dude. Like he was super easy to hang out with. He's got really good morals and he's just fun. But all right, Andy, I'm going to go ahead and end it there.
Do it.
All right, guys. Well, it's so good seeing you all. We hope you had a great time at the Fantasy Fiends podcast. We really enjoyed you. We love you all. We hope you had a wonderful holiday season. And again, we love you all. And we hope you have a great day. We'll see you next time. Remember to hit that like button. We'll see you next time.
Bye.